How happy is 20-year-old Jason right now?
Yeah, ecstatic.
Series 1 RS Turbo, talk to me.
RS Turbos, Escorts. I think it started off with Escorts. So first car being an Escort. That's not strictly true. First car was a Volvo, but second car, your more important car, was an Escort, and it was the Mark IV variety. So I think once you've had that car at 18 years old, you're hooked on the way they handle. Anyone can fix them at home. And I mean anybody, they are so simple. An addiction that grew from there. 27 or so Escorts later, I find myself with the tidiest one I've ever had.
27?
Yeah, I think we...
27?
Maybe a couple of Fiesta Turbos and 2i's mutually owned by Laura and I. Yes, certainly we're in the late 20s now with Escorts. This one's got to be the finest one though. Like, this was a good find. The last one I had in Series 1 variety was Rusty.
How much did you pay for that one?
£1,700. I remember going, we couldn't find 20 quid on the way to Essex, and I didn't even have it in the bank, and I didn't even want to ask the guy driving us there. We literally had, that was all the money I ever had in the world. We weren't even sure how we were going to fuel it home, but we were going to go and buy a Series 1 RS Turbo. In your early 20s, that was pretty cool. A lot of my friends at the time were getting into Cozzies, and I was seeing them having to borrow lots of money from mum and dad or the bank or whatever to even keep them on the road. Whereas I knew I could pretty much fix most things on this myself. So I stayed within my limits, but it needed 9 months worth of restoration when we got home, and that wasn't even to get it to a really mint standard. Before that, I'd had about 6 or 7 Series 2s on the build up to one of these. These have always been more expensive, not like they are now though. So a Series 2 back then with an MOT was 800 quid, an XR3i was 500 quid, and a Series 1 was 1500 quid and upwards. So paying 1,700 quid, it was not expensive. I got on my knees to have a look underneath. The words were, it was no Rolls Royce. And he'll be watching this video because we remain friends 15 years later. As everyone knows, I've had a fair amount of modern RS powered vehicles that Jamie and I have had a lot of fun in of recent months. Mark II RSs, Mark III RSs, and it dawned on me that I'm not having as much fun as I used to in the car scene with those cars anymore. And I kept finding myself going back to watch the classic stuff. Last year we did the Red 16i replica, RS turbo powered Mark III Escort. Time of my life in that car. Literally knew where I should be headed. So the Mark III went, and we bought this.
So you sold the Mark III RS
sold the Mark III RS
and bought a Series 1 RS Turbo.
Indeed. So the Mark III RS, as all the cars that are connected with JW or Shine, they're here to represent us, and they're a very good car, don't get me wrong. For me, I wanted to go back into an old car. I could have bought a really nice Sapphire Cosworth for the price I paid for this. Could have been in Cosworth land, but for me, it doesn't get any better than...
It is harping back to that day of you buying that 1,700 quid one and going, I don't know how I'm going to get home, but I'm having a bloody good time doing it.
Yeah, exactly, and there's nothing quite like driving down a B road in one of these and equally driving to a big car show on the mainland, and people just they just can't believe it's here still. I think that's the thing, they're just not seen on the road now because the values are climbing, but I want to drive them. So already this year it's been to Classic Ford and it rained. It was a very sad day. That said, the car was amazing. It was the most fun you can have again in something with under 150 horsepower yet still keeping up with modern traffic so easily because it's a light. And I think that's what I miss. You can feel every bump. You said it yourself, from a car is so comfy, like literally the most comfortable place to be. And now I've actually got a nice one, you can appreciate just why these flew out of the dealerships in the 1980s. Like, if you compared that to a Mark I Golf GTI, sorry to all the Golf fans, but not being funny, there's nothing like having a turbocharger.
No.
It was just chalk and cheese, as well as the Golf's handled, and as well as the Peugeot's handled, the 205s. For me, it's always going to be the turbo-powered, fix it every weekend car. As much as a pain in the ass they are, there's something about boost, even from back in the 80s, it just wasn't around, was it?
No.
What was around back then? It was rivaling this car. Its bigger brothers, the Cosworth, but
Yeah, but no other car was like that, turbocharged front wheel drive and said RS down the side of it, like,
Exactly.
oh, it's it's an RS product.
Being that this was a homologation car, it was quite special as well, so there was some heritage behind it. Many Ford people viewed it back then as a massive flop. The Mark III Escort was not rear-wheel drive. It was comparatively ugly compared to the glorious Mark II before. That's kind of changed. As time goes on, people tended to then actually love it, and they did touring car these, they did touring car the 16Is, they did try and rally these cars. But it doesn't mean to say that the engineering team, special vehicle engineering back at Ford back then, they put a very cool anti-roll bar setup, which even by modern standards is quite good. You don't see that kind of thing just put on everything. Limited slip differential, standard equipment. It doesn't. It holds the road well from what it was back then.
But it's 1980s technology.
Yeah, this car was fundamentally designed in 1979, 1980, codenamed Eureka by Ford Motor Company. And then obviously the RS department took over down in Dunton. Early 80s when the 16i came out, and then it transponded to this car, which was obviously the last of the Mark III Escort before they went to the Series 2. So stiffer suspension setup, as said, beefier wheels and tyres, 15-inch by 195, LSD, anti-roll bar setup, and just generally a more aggressive look and stance on the car, but also still quite luxurious inside. So nice quality materials, Recaro chairs. The radio was even of a different quality to its sister cars, or probably like similar to what was known as a gear back then. So it's a bit of luxury, a bit of power, go and have some fun on the track. Back then, if you could. If this was 20-year-old Jason, you probably would have locked it up in your dad's garage and never took it out, because you knew what you could see already back then, how values were going. Like the nice ones were like £6,000, and that was like all of the money ever in the world when you're that young. Well, I'm buying a Golf GTI. Why would you buy an RS Turbo? When back then you could have bought Mark IV, might probably go back that far, a Mark IV GTI with 18-inch wheels. You could definitely be buying that.
That's comfier and all this sort of stuff.
You wouldn't get one house from now.
No.
But that's just when you're younger. I remember seeing the modern variants coming out, Fiesta ST 150s, when they were £8,000 and £9,000 on a forecourt. I have one of these. So, inside, there is little reasons why you would not buy one of these cars when it was new. I've even got some original point of sale.
Look at that.
This is a reproduction obviously, but back in the 80s, there was nothing as interesting as this, I don't think, in car world that you would have come and bought. This was ticking all the boxes. Recaro chairs, just like lovely. Who was putting Recaro seats and stuff?
No one.
With a car of a sub value of £10,000. Some of 132 horsepower from the factory. Got a brochure. Fords were obviously very impressed with their RS heritage. This is the whole reason this car came about. Mark 1s and Mark 2s were a force to be reckoned with back in the day, as everybody knows. They were the car if you were into competition escorts. They were trying to sell this car on the back of that pedigree, but the wheels were at the wrong way. It's front wheel drive, and for many people that was a big letdown. So they had to really talk about the engineering that went into this car in order to validate that price tag. You could have gone and bought an XR3i for £7,000. Why was this car £2,000 more? Well, it was a homologation special, so this had a limited slip differential. It had a Group A anti-roll bar setup, formerly revised from the 1600i. It had a turbocharger, and if you were really keen, you could boost this engine up even back then with their motorsport packs to 200 horsepower. So a Group A competition level car was 200 horsepower with reinforcing to some of the body, a roll cage, and this car, as far as Ford were concerned, was ready to go rallying. There is a lot of history with the RS Turbo Series 1. I'm only touching on a bit of it, but it's worth a look if you're into your old school cars.
What is that cheeky smile on your face that you're just constantly giving?
I just don't know, mate. There's something about what old cars give you, which is sensitive on the road. You know, you punt it and look at the way it climbs speed. It's just crazy.
It does it in a cheeky way as well. They've done it.
Cheeky way. It's easy. I can feel what's going on the road. And just look at us when we go down the road. It's just cool.
We're so happy.
It's just cool.
Can I point out how comfy the seats are as well?
I know.
They're so, like, you could tour in this so easy. When you were saying about touring and just going to shows and enjoying this, it's so easily achievable, isn't it?
I completely agree.
It's just a nice car to be in.
And the other thing is, you get in a new car these days, something German, and it's got a 15-way adjustable seat. Right?
Yeah.
This has 2. And you're comfortable.
Oh yeah, I'm well comfortable.
I'm comfortable.
It's just comfortable as is.
It tilts and it slides.
Yeah.
That's it.
No more, no less.
And I don't know, I'm instantly comfortable. Maybe it's because I grew up around these cars. I'm not the tallest of people, but I feel ever so comfy in it.
Can I point out as well how non-rattly anything is? It's literally like factory in here. It's
I know, we're driving
it's
a lot,
slightly weird, isn't it? It's slightly weird.
It is slightly weird. And people have said that to me, like, normally Escorts are crashy because we've slammed them on the floor with SPAC 60mm springs for 20 quid off eBay. That's what we used to do.
Yeah.
Go as low as we can, exhaust scraping everywhere. But in actual fact, this just drives nicely.
It drives like it's just left the factory like this.
Still turns in really sharply. It's just a lovely car.
Sitting here as well, the heater here and like the heater fan up here, it's very
windy knobs for the radio.
Windy knob, like it's all so.
It all works.
Yeah. Oh, look at this, all working.
It works really well.
It's just all so like purposeful in a way. Like you switch a switch and it's got like a. It gives you feedback. It's not just a button that you would feel in maybe other cars. It's got so much purpose. Just eats a little bit.
There are no micro switches in this car.
No. It's so like down here. It's speakers.
Yeah. So that tilts the volume of the speakers from the front to the back. So. It's the quadraphonic adjuster.
Quadraphonic adjuster.
Yeah,
that's
like
such an 80s
and
thing.
then, you know, if you want to put your Tina Turner cassette,
yeah, just legit get the tapes in there.
A bit of Bon Jovi in here.
Bit of Bon Jovi in that one.
Other artists are available.
Yeah, we're not prejudiced.
Stevie Wonder in here. It all depends what you're in the mood for at the time. You can total of 4 albums with you.
4 whole albums
you can
in
fit
one.
in that centre console.
Phenomenal.
In the lesser models behind here, you would have had a single speaker. On the early Mark III Escorts, there would have been one speaker with your AM radio, and you'd have been listening to your radio out of here. Obviously, where this was a top of the line vehicle,
She's a prestigious model.
much like a Gear, you get your speakers down in your door pockets. On lesser models, you'd have just had a bit of vinyl there to cover that hole. Time's moved on from 81 when this came out through to 86. This was the last of them, the very last of the Mark III Escorts. So they were just going with the times.
I love the stereo as well. It's so
I know,
like switchy. This is so switchy, and the knobs are nice, and it's just also lovely. Really well. And it's like brand new. It's like it doesn't look like it's had a lot of wear in its life, and I love that.
Yeah.
It does just drive like a brand new car. Like
keeps up with the traffic, lovely.
Keeps up with the traffic. It's hard to explain because I've driven a fair few old Fords in my time. None of them have been anything like this, and this is just like it's a really nice place to be, and you don't feel like you're put out at all.
No.
It's just you're going for a
rides over the bumps well.
Yeah.
Just nice.
As you were saying, you don't want to go any further with a car like this. In the way of a concourse rebuild and it being, because you would be so worried about the cloud outside as you're driving down this road coming in and raining on this. You don't obviously want to get it wet, and you know appreciate it, but it's still like you're not scared.
No.
You can go and enjoy this and throw it into a corner, come on, boost, and just just have the cheeky smile on your face. That's what it's all about, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
that is what it's all about.
I don't need to drive fast in this car to enjoy it. It's actually quite the opposite.
It's being in it is enough.
Bumping into an old guy in a petrol station, he's just like, I used to have one of those.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's those chats.
Yeah.
They're the best.
So back at AW Watch Time. Again, massive thank you to Jason for taking me out in his car. I wanted this to be based around Jason and his car, so I hope you liked the way that I shot this video. If you did like the video, please like, subscribe, head over to fydapparel.com, cop yourself some FYD merch to support the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.